Now we're going to work on dimensioning and finishing up our walls. So we're going to first start with our dimensions. So what's going to happen is we're going to need our dimension lines outside of our walls. So we're just going to start at the top. And, okay, well, we're going to do our first dimension line. So on our 1/4 inch scale, we're going to do our first dimension line at this intersection right here. We're going to start at 0. And we're going to put our first dimension line at 2 feet. So we're going to kind of mark it right there. I'm going to go mark the other side as well. So 2, 1, 0. Okay, so I'm going to make my first dimension line. Make sure the triangle's lined up at the bottom of the paper. We're going to do a super light line. And what I'm doing right here is I'm kind of bringing up that line. So that's saying we're going to dimension from this end right here to this very end right here. Notice how I go a little past that line because we have to do those overlapping lines. Make sure it overlaps a little bit over here. So it's saying from this point to this point is this dimension. So let's get our 1/4 inch scale. It's going to be from 0 to 26. So 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26. That is 26 feet. So right in the center of this, you're going to have to again, eyeball it. Just go ahead and erase it, and we're going to put 26 feet. And then at those little intersections, or where it crosses over, you're going to put a tick mark, a slash, and that's your dimension line. Now we are going to do one more dimension line because what happens is we need to know the dimension from here to here now. So we're going to start at 0 and we're going to go up to 4 feet this time. You know what? I did it incorrectly. You could still use this line. We're just going to erase this number. Okay, but from now this intersection, from 0, we're going to go up to 2 again because we're going to have like a second dimension line. So we're going to go ahead and mark it. And then I'm going to go ahead and mark it over here as well. So from 2, 1, 0. Make the line. Then we're going to extend that line as well. Make sure they overlap. Then you add that little tick mark. So actually the second line is where you kind of put your overall dimension, and the ones inside is where you put your smaller dimensions. So let's go ahead and erase that 26. Close in your line again. We're just going to change this one into the 26. 26 feet. Okay, now what we want is we're going to use this line for the smaller dimensions. We're going to see what this point is to this point is. So we have to put our right triangle, line it up with the bottom of the paper, and we're going to put that dimension. I'm going to overlap it a little bit because I'm going to put that tick mark. I'm going to stop at that point right here, draw another line up, and that's going to be it. So tick mark, slash, whatever you want to call it. And we're going to have to find now the dimensions from here to here. So we're going to put a number right here. The dimension from here to here, our number is going to go in here. Our dimension from here to here, and our number is going to go right here. So on our 1/4 inch scale, 0, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7.5. So 7 feet 6 inches. Okay, our door. 0, 1, 2, 3. 3 feet. The wall. 0. Let me do math real quick. 1 second. Okay, so it is correct. So we are going to be doing 0 to 15 feet, and then it's slightly off on my end by about an inch. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 feet, 6 inches. So what I did is if you add all these numbers up, 7 feet 6 inches plus 3 feet plus 15 feet 6 inches, you should get to 26 feet. So that's kind of some troubles that you run into when manual drafting because nothing's ever precise like a computer. We know that it is 26 feet, but when you start adding up all these smaller numbers, you start to find slight little mistakes because our little inches are so small to make perfectly. But as long as you're not off more than an inch or two, you're good. But you know, this is super small and it's going to be super hard to make it perfect. But if it's way off, if it's more off than about, you know, that little 3 inches, then you probably should fix it. Now we're going to go ahead and do this side again. So we're going to use the same dimension lines. We're going to do 0 to 2. I'm just going to go ahead and mark it already to do my second dimension line. That second dimension line needs to be 2 feet away, so 2, 3, 4. Line up the triangle on the edge of the paper. I'm going to go do that over here too. On that intersection, I'm going to put the 0. I'm going to put 2 and 4. Okay. Line the triangle up on the edge of the paper and draw your line. Line your triangle up at the edge of the paper and draw your line. You did overlap them. Line your triangle up at the edge of the paper and draw your line. Okay, so we're going to start with our overall distance. It's going to go right here in the center. Our overall distance is from this outside intersection to this bottom one, we should have 20 feet. 20 feet right here. So the proper way to do this is either you can do 20 like this, but I don't like doing it like that, or you can do it like this, like straight. I like it all facing one, but either one will be okay, and make your little tick marks. All your little tick marks should be going in the same direction. Now we're going to find the dimension from that intersection to this one right here. So we're going to get our triangle, line it up with the bottom of the paper. And then to the other end of that window. Okay, erase a little bit in that center. So from this point to this point, zero, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 feet. This window should be 6 feet. Line it up at the end. 0, 2, 6. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 feet. And then the other one should be 7 feet. So we have 7. If you think in your head, 7 plus 6. 7 plus 6 is 13. So what's the difference between 20 and 13? So we said it was 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So that's 7 left over, which 7 feet should be right here. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 feet. That's correct. Mark 7 feet. And then our little tick. Now we're going to go do the same thing for the remaining of the sides. I'm going to go over here. We barely have enough room to do that. But we barely have enough room to add the other line. So we know that this is a rectangle and this is 20 feet over here, and it's the same size as this one. So it's saying from this distance to this distance is 20 feet, which is technically this distance and this distance. It's the exact same thing. Same thing for the 26. From this distance to this distance, it's 26 feet, which means down here as well. So there's no need to go repeat that other dimension line when it's literally exactly the same on this side. What does change is your distances from this to this and this to this. It's not the same as this. So what we're going to do is from that intersection right here, we're just going to mark it right here, so 2 feet distance, and we're just going to go ahead and do these first dimension lines. Because it's just kind of redundant to do that. So at the bottom of that intersection right here, we're going to mark 2, 0, 1, 2. Align your triangle at the bottom of the paper and make your straight lines. And now I'm going to line it up with the bottom of the paper and make that straight dimension line. Keep your little tick marks going the same way. And now we want to find out this point to this point. So we're going to get that dimension. And then at the edge of the window. Okay, so from the edge of the window we have 0, 1, 2, 3 and a half. So 3 feet, 6 inches. From this window should be 4 feet. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 feet. And now we know that this entire wall is 20 feet. So 4 feet plus 3 feet 6 inches is 4, 5, 6, 7 feet 6 inches. So the difference between 7 feet 6 inches and 20 feet is 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So it should be 12 feet, and we saw that 6 inches. So it should be 12 feet 6 inches. And that's pretty much it. We have 12 feet, and it's a little bit off. You can see it doesn't quite hit that 6 inch mark, but it's 12 feet 6 inches. Now we're going to do the bottom. And again, we don't have to do that extra overall line because the overall line is right here, that 26 feet. So we're just going to go make a dimension line 2 feet from this intersection. 2, 1, 0. Zero, 1, 2. Oops. I made it right here, but I meant to do it right here. So I just drew that line down, and I still am going to stay on this line. Okay, line the triangle up at the edge of the paper to make that straight dimension line. Do your little dashes. Now we're going to do from the edge of that window the edge of the end of the edge of the window, the edge of the window to the edge of the door, or to the start of the door. The start of the door to the end of the door. End of the door to the start of the window. Start of the window to the end of the window. Okay, your little dashes. making room to put the numbers in between them. Okay, now I'm going to start off with precise dimensions. We know that that window is 4 feet. On our 1/4 inch scale, 0 to 4. And then that window should be 0 to 4. The door should be 3 feet. 0, 1, 2, 3. So now we have 4 plus 4 is 8, 9, 10, 11, 11 feet. We have 11 feet out of 26 feet. So now we're left with 15 feet remaining. So we're going to have 0, 1, 2, 3 feet, 6 inches. So we're going to do 3 feet, 6 inches. Three feet, 6 inches is on this side too. That's hard to tell. I'm going to start this way. This one right here should be 3 feet, 6 inches. 0, 1, 2, 3 feet, 6 inches. This one is 4 feet. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 feet. And now let me do the math on that one to make sure my calculator, or to make sure this is correct. So what I'm using is I'm just using this calculator. It's the feet and inches calculator. And all I add is like, this is the feet and this is the inches side. So 3 feet, 6 inches plus 4 feet plus 3 feet plus 3 feet, 6 inches plus 4 feet plus 4 feet, 22 feet, 22, and we have 26 feet, so 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. So 4 feet. This should be 4 feet. Yep, that's what I have. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's kind of the downfall when it comes to hand drafting, because with the computer, you don't really have to do math, because of course nothing's ever going to be perfect, like I said, because it's so hard to get it perfect on the exact thing. So you always have to go back and check your dimensions to make sure everything adds up correctly. So once you're done with your dimensions, now we have to poche our walls. So poching our walls, I always like to start at the diagonal corner, and I just start right there. And I lightly do my lines for the pocheted walls. And it should be that consistency throughout. So I'm going to go ahead and poche my walls for the remainder of the video. Once I'm done pocheing, that's going to be it. And then you would take a picture and turn in for your submission. So right now it was just the dimensions and poching our walls. Make sure that your lines are consistent. They're the same line weight. And they are the same distance. Okay, you see how I did that corner? You just kind of continued it and then you move on. So we're pocheting all our walls. You do not poche like any doors or any windows. I'm going to probably erase a little bit there. Try to keep them at the same angle as well. And stay in between the walls. Skip over the windows. Okay, and that's how you should look.